Okay, thank you for coming. I'm Marisol Nemetz, as you guys know.
Okay, I'm Esmeralda Zamora.
Gisela Valencia.
And today we are going to be talking about the impact of parental involvement with reading in a low socioeconomic primary classroom. Okay, currently the city of Santa Ana has the highest poverty rate with 83% of the school children receiving free and reduced meals. This statistic indicates that most children in Santa Ana are socioeconomically disadvantaged. According to Deering, McCartney, and Taylor, children who are at low socioeconomic status have a tendency to struggle or lack reading proficiency by 5th grade, as compared to students who are not experiencing poverty. Due to the high incidence of poverty, students in Santa Ana have an inclination to struggle with reading.
Okay. And since lack of parental involvement and reading skills were a major concern in the classroom, the researchers, as we desired outcomes by implementing SIPs, reading workshops, so we could equip parents with confidence in supporting their students, and parents were encouraged to learn reading strategies and to implement them at home as they help their students during their reading homework.
Okay, so previous research, it suggested that parents are more likely to become involved in the classroom when their child's teacher expresses the need for their help. So what Ms. Valencia did, she reached out to parents offering an opportunity to be part of the reading workshop. I believe you reached out to everyone, and so only, we had certain participants come in, but the ones that did participate in our study made us see the growth. Okay?
According to Epstein, there are 6 levels of parental involvement. The 6 levels begin with parenting, which includes providing children with basic needs and effective discipline. The other levels of parental involvement are communicating, volunteering, learning at home, making decisions, and collaborating with the community. To have successful parent involvement, there is a need for initiatives to involve parents in school with programs for their students.
And researchers Drummond and Stipek found low-income parents are less involved and resist direct involvement in their children's education. They also noted parents did not have time to attend school activities due to their lack of time and confidence in their children's schools matter.
Okay. Some of the literature review that we went over, we had some research that said that to improve primary grade reading, including of children of low socioeconomic status, some research-based strategies have been identified, as Duke and Block's findings found that teaching phonics or letter sounds with phonological awareness benefited students in reading skills. So I know that SIPS program, it's implemented during the day in the classroom, and then what we wanted to reach out to parents and have this workshop and teach them some skills that have to do with phonemic awareness that they can practice with their child at home.
Okay, so in addition, Shelton and Epstein noted that implications indicating that when parents place emphasis on a particular skill, students show greater growth in that skill that is targeted, as compared to where there is a lack of focus. So when the parents know exactly what to target, and that's when we see growth. Therefore, we focused on specific reading skill, which is a SIPS, to see if the students showed growth after our study.
So we came up with 2 research questions that we would focus on. And the primary research question was, how does parental involvement correlate with academic performance in reading in elementary school children? And our secondary question was, how does socioeconomic status affect student achievement in school? And we kind of came up with those 2 questions based on our students' demographics and our school population, and we felt we could really focus on the students that we serve and how we could better reach out to parents to improve parental involvement?
So the methodology involved during this workshop was for us to teach parents some more blending skills, phonics and decodable words, introduce a letter and its sound, decoding, sight words, reading the story, guided spelling and dictation. And we modeled what we did. We showed them how to do it. We showed them how to do it, and then they got to practice with their student. They brought in their students. They had a chance to practice with their student as we walked around and make sure that we were serving them as models. If they had any questions, we would go ahead and show. Can you show the next slide?
Yes.
We have pictures of what happened in this room as they were practicing the skills from SIPs. So as you can see, that's what was happening in this classroom. Okay? So the parents had an opportunity to work the skill, practice it with your child, and as we walked around to make sure that they had any questions or to correct right there and then, and that's what we did through the methodology.
Okay, so these are the results of the study. So our question once again is, how does parental involvement correlate with academic performance in reading in elementary school? So this figure shows the students. We had 7 students who we were looking at for a total of 4 weeks, or 3 weeks. Student number 1 had growth, so the blue is week 1, and then the orange is week 4. So after we had the parents, that first week we had the parents work with their child at home, and after the 4th week, we saw growth in all of the students. We saw the most growth. We'll see the next slide, but we see growth here. We pretty much see growth everywhere.
With the nonsense words fluency test.
And this is with the Dibbles
With the
nonsense
progress
word
monitoring.
fluency.
So in this slide, this focuses on the research question 2, how does socioeconomic status affect student achievement in school? We took a look at, one of the questions asked was parental income. So we found out that 33% of the parents left this survey blank, that area blank. 50% of the students said that they have their household income range between $0 and $25,000 a year. And then 17% said they make between $25,000 to $50,000 a year.
Okay, the next figures, the top figure, top left, talks about the percentage of parents who participated in the study. We had 27% of parents participating in the study. 73% unfortunately did not participate. The next figure, figure 9, it talks about the total number of workshops that the parents had attended prior to the one that we offered. As you can see, the blue illustrates the student 5's parents and student 7's parents. They had been to some training before, or they had received some sort of workshop. Now, the rest of the parents, it was the first time that had ever been part of a workshop. So we can get to see, it was beneficial to them. They had a chance to do so. Now, figure 10 talks about the Dibbles nonsense word fluency results. If we see, like once again, the blue part of the graph, it talks about week 1, and the orange part, it's the bar, the orange bar, talks about week 4. As you can see all across, there's growth. You can see the bar growing. Now, figure 11 talks about the percent change. So how much the first student, or from the 7 students, how much they grow altogether. If you can see student 1, that was our highest, and he's an outliner, of course. 500. He grew up. His growth was 500%.
And then we have figure 12. This is for the STAR reading, and this tests for comprehension. But we also wanted just to see how did SIPs help out with comprehension? Obviously, the more fluid they are with the reading, the more they will comprehend. And as you can see, there's also growth. And this is from the beginning of the year to week 4.
So this is the grade level equivalency, right?
Yes, this is STAR.
Yes.
And then we have here the STAR reading, the change that they had. So they all had growth, with student number 5 having 60% change in the growth that they made. We also see here for engagement, we also wanted to see how having support at home would help in the classroom, and we noticed that the students in engagement, there was a big difference as well. For example, in week number 1, 57% of the students were not engaged, but after week 4, we see that all the students were engaged, and over here 57 were not engaged, and only 43 were. So this is week 1, and this is week 4, based on engagement during the SIPS groups in class.
So now we come to our conclusions and recommendations for future research. Well, overall, we found that parental involvement is a big component in obtaining their student success. So we talked about how parent involvement contributes to a child's success and motivation in education. Parental participation in school has demonstrated to have a positive influence on students. Unfortunately, not all parents are involved in their students' education due to family and school factors which influence parental involvement, and consequently, schools and educators have an important role in parental involvement. And in parent involvement. It is important for educators to have an awareness of the community they serve. Being able to make observations and identify the root of the problem in the school community takes dedication and careful planning. The success of Comer and Haynes' implementation of parent programs promote the need to reach out to parents who do not participate in classroom activities or volunteer to be part of the school decision making. The constant communication between home and school is essential for partnership.
And there are some important conclusions which can be drawn from this study. First of all, the present study supported previous findings indicating that parental involvement is key to students' academic success. Our society should take care into account that the importance of parental involvement in their students' education and its positive impacts regardless of their socioeconomic status. If we can equip these parents to make sure they're involved in their child's education or helping out with homework at home, they can make a big impact and a big difference in their child's education. Further studies would benefit from a higher number of participants with the school. Perhaps opening the workshop to the entire grade level would increase the number of participants. As you saw, we only had 27% of participation in Ms. Valencia's classroom, so that would be a greater opportunity for other parents to take charge of this, to take advantage of this opportunity. This intervention was innovative and had never been offered to parents at this school. Since it was the SIPS strategies, offering several of these workshops throughout the school year and grade levels would be beneficial for parents and students.
And then this goes into all our references that we have in our research paper. And any questions?
We're going to leave it open for questions.
So your results were drawn from the